Good afternoon and welcome to Newsbeat. Well, I'm not your usual presenter because today is our day. It's the International Day of the Girl Child, and I bring you the stories making headlines. My name is Fafali Kopi. Coming up in the headlines. Galamsey Queen Aisha Juan denied bail again. Meanwhile, Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abu Jinapo commends Attorney General for his proper handling of the case. As Ghana marks International Day of the Girl Child, staggering statistics from the Ghana Statistical Service show that about 80,000 girls in Ghana between the ages of 12 and 17 have been married off. We will be interrogating this worrying situation shortly. On the foreign front, Nigeria's National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control warns citizens that to be wary of the cough syrups linked to dozens of deaths of children in the Gambia. Galamsey Kingpin Aisha Wan has been denied bail again. She and three others have been in custody for their alleged involvement in illegal mining activities in the country. Court correspondent Elvis Ando has joined me live for updates. Elvis, give us details of what happened in court today.
And happy Girl Child Day to all of you. Today in court, what actually happened was that the Attorney General was looking out for an extension of the case involving Aisha One and four other accomplices. But let me first start with Aisha One's case, as immediately after the time when the case was about to be heard, the Attorney General Godfrey Abuadame called for an extension because he would like to file for four other witnesses to the additional four who are expected to be on the case to give account of why Ashawan should be jailed and prosecuted for her involvement in illegal mining activities and unlawful trading of minerals without a license. And so when the case was being, when the issue was being heard and also being talked about in court today, lawyer for Aisha One, Ifa Date, told the court that he would like to apply for a bail application, to which the judge on the case indicated that there is no need to apply for a bail application because no matter what, she is not going to change her mind on the fact that Aisha One should be denied bail. And so there is no need. And moreover, the case has not been started, or to say that the case has not yet commenced, and so there is no need for the lawyer to also call for an additional bill. But however, the Attorney General is asking for extension, to which she has agreed to that fact and would like to get into the case management conference, that is a CMC, and also look at how possible directions or directives will be given on the case which is involving Aisha One. Now let's look at the three and the four other accomplices that comes with Aisha One in the same regard. For them, their lawyer, who was an in-person of Elekeb Blay, indicated to the court that they should allow them bail application because they are people who are foreign nationals and also people who would not interfere with police investigations should the police grant them the opportunity to enjoy the comfort of the bill application as being requested. But it wasn't possible, or I would say that the judge said no to the fact because the opposition that was raised by the Attorney General indicated that they were involved, the four accomplices were involved in illegal mining activities, and there are evidence of receipts that they had wanted to procure some mining concessions, and so the first and the second and third and fourth accused shouldn't be given a bail application as being granted. And also, the Attorney General also said that they have asked the courts to get satisfied with everything that is needed on the case in order to allow them to face trial. The Attorney General also called the courts to look at Section 96 of the Criminal Act, that the court should consider granting bail, since should not consider granting bail to the four persons, because should they grant bail to them, or should the court grant bail to them? I suppose
Okay,
utter well for the case. Now, after the proceedings today, we had Samuel Abu Jinapo, who also spoke that he is so happy and confident that the Attorney General would be able to follow keenly on that matter in the fight to represent government against the illegal mining activities.
On a case by day basis. The other matter has been adjourned to 1st November. I'm sure by that agenda date too, we'll be ready to proceed with the trial of that one as well.
By the admission of their own lawyer, they were seeking to engage in something they were not supposed to. How do you think that helps your case?
I made my submissions in court, and I do not want to prejudice the minds of the public with these utterances. I think we should respect fairness.
General himself was in court, and he himself is conducting this trial and prosecuting this case in a very spirited and enthusiastic manner. I think it helped my work, because when you have an Attorney General who is diligent and who is serious at prosecution and ensuring that all perpetrators are brought to book, I think that is a big boost, and I'm very thankful to him for the work he's doing. We will continue with our efforts on all fronts, on the law enforcement, the reforms, and as well as the prosecutorial path, which we are fully committed to. As you can tell, this Aisha One lady, the government of President Akufo-Addo is committed to bring her and other persons who are involved in illegal mining to face the full rigors of our laws in this country.
We just heard from Attorney General and Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. Let's move on to other stories. Founder and leader of the United Progressive Party, Akwesi Adai, also known as Odike, is asking the IMF to add the elimination of illegal mining as part of conditionalities for which government's request for a $3 billion bailout will be granted. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is in New York leading a high-powered government delegation to engage in what is believed to be the final phase of talks ahead of the rollout of the austerity plan. According to Odike, he will petition to the IMF to add the Galamsey issues as strings attached to the bailout as negotiations begin. Joining us now is founder of the United Progressive Party, Akwesi Adai. Good afternoon to you. Why do you say the IMF must include the fight against illegal mining as one of the conditions for extending support to Ghana?
Good afternoon, viewers. Yes, I did make this emphatic statement, and my lawyers are putting documents together to serve to petition IMF on this issue. The rationale behind it is very simple. Nana Akufo-Addo administration is playing politics with the environmental terrorism the country is being faced with. And from all indications, the government is not prepared to bring this menace to a halt, because they themselves are direct beneficiaries of the proceeds from this societal canker. And we cannot sit aloof for few people to destroy our environment and get away with it. So I took this bold and a giant decision to petition IMF to use their powers, because they have the financial muscles to support us in terms of bailout. So I want to petition them to use this opportunity.
Hello.
Hello.
But Nanado just met the chiefs. Don't you think that's a good beginning?
No. Since Nanado formed government, it is clear, it has become clear that he is only playing politics, paying lip services, and there is no commitment, not an iota of commitment to deal with the issues. And some of us, we are more smarter than maybe they think they do. And from the look of things, I can conclude without any doubt that Nanado is not ready to solve this salvage us from this this problem, which is so overwhelming that its care is not taken, its prompt action is not taken. We will lose our arable lands and our water bodies forever, and this can't be possible. So we have to put a halt to it. And not only IMF, I'm also petitioning United Nations,
What would you have done differently? Hello.
Yes. Hello. I can hear you.
If you were the president, what would you have done differently?
First and foremost, since we don't have technology to extract gold from our soil, I will put I'll put a hold to it until we find a technology that can extract the gold without polluting our water bodies and also destroying our environment. That is our farmlands and our forests. Secondly, if I were to be the president now, I will use my executive instrument to put a temporary ban or a temporary holder so that we go back to the drawing table, number one. Two, find a way to reclaim the land. So some people were of the view that the youth are not fully engaged in any meaningful employment. This is opportunity for them now. Once we embark on land reclamation and reforestation exercise, these are the people we are going to engage. Hello.
Mr. Dike, thank you for your opinion. Moving on to the next story. The Communications Director of Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Mining, Abdul Razak Al-Hassan, says making the Galamsey fight a conditionality for IMF bailouts is a tall order. According to him, the fight against illegal mining is a collective responsibility for leaders and citizenry.
What Mr. Dike said, it is sometimes we need to be very careful with utterances of such, because illegal mining, it is something, it's a canker which is inside the country. And the agency and the way the economy is running, we as a nation want things to be normalized. The economic downturn is creating a whole lot of mess. So if you're a Ghanaian and then you are pushing this agenda, when will this economy be come to normalcy? So his call, yes, it's good that we should eradicate illegal mining in the country, but this is not the way to go. We shouldn't wash our dirty clothes outside. IMF, we are appealing for them to come and help the economy, to come and then streamline things. But to say they should eradicate illegal mining before they give us the grant or they give us the support, I think it's rather unfortunate. He has given his ideas, but this will not help. Let us focus as a nation. Let us all come on board and see how best we'll stop this.
Thank you. Economic activities at Edum, the central business district of Kumasi, comes to a halt on Monday as business owners shut down their shops in protest against what they described as high cost of doing business in the country and the poor value of the cedi. My colleague Abdul Basit Suleiman is following this development and joins us for an update. Basit, please, what can you tell us today? Are the shops still closed? Basit, please, can you unmute your microphone?
Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, I can say that the protest is still on the second day of this protest. The shops within the Central Business District of Ogun are still locked. The organizers just finished with a meeting, which, according to them, they have decided to embark on a protest, God willing, Thursday. But willing, tomorrow they will hold a press conference to inform the general public on the way forward. And this morning too, they also met with officials of the GRA, who also pleaded with them to see their decision. But according to the business owners here at Ogun, yes, they will try and meet with their members to find out if the modalities that they've put in place would benefit them, so that they will also take a decision to see the way forward. But as of now, the shops are still closed. Business activity is still at the halt in the business district. And I can also say that yesterday, the number of shops that were closed.
Basit, how long do the traders intend to keep the shops closed?
A lot of them has been added today because there are a lot of places. All of them have joined this protest. Cleaning girls over here.
Joseph Paddy is the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Union of Traders Association. He joins me on Zoom. Good morning, sir, and welcome to Metro TV. Was the decision by your counterparts in Kumasi agreed upon by the Mother Union?
Yeah, exactly so. But before I come to your question, let me say Guta joined to celebrate the girl child today, as the world celebrate the girl child. And one of the statistics we heard about 260 girl child has never been to school or step in class before. It's a worrying situation where we need to talk about it. But in any case, let's go back to your substantive question. Yes, we are in agreement with what our counterparts are doing in Kumasi. You know, in recent time, we resolved to start in Accra, where we were complaining about cost of doing business being high in the country as a result of high interest rate and high exchange rate and a high inflation. Now, as it stands now, when you go to the bank to borrow, the reference rate from Bank of Ghana is almost about 24%. So the commercial banks or the universal bank are giving loans at a rate about 40%. And what business can you do in the country and even break even or maximize profit or even to pay your salaries or your workers? So it's a difficult situation we find ourselves now, which we've complained to government, where the Council of State called us to intervene on behalf of government. But look, going forward, we still see the challenge pertains. So it's a condition that is not helping businesses. Businesses are really bleeding and collapsing. And then now our members' agitation has moved to anger. And then when anger sets in, the end result will not be too good for the country. So we are in support. We are in solidarity with them. Even as I'm talking to you now, I'm just coming out of the meeting. We are in a crunch meeting with the executives are meeting Accra here. And we also come out with our release in the shortest possible time. And then we will give the green light as what we are going to do nationwide. Because as it stands, the business are not really doing good, and people are really losing their capital and their finances. And it's a worrying situation. Coupled to that, the GRA also has come in to hike their revenue base because they want to generate more revenue. But when you generate revenue in terms of collapsing businesses, because if business grows, that's where your revenue grows. But now, GRA is now going to people's shops, sitting in people's shop, and then they're asking them to pay certain. They've increased even the flat rate from 4% to almost about 6%. So cumulatively, when you put together, it's about 19.5% on VAT alone, which is not helping business. Consumers are not able to afford. So we are not even fighting for business alone. We are also fighting for consumers. Consumers cannot afford, cannot pay the needed amount. But there's some products or some goods that are needed, that are necessity, especially it's like a medical product. Whatever the case, when you are sick, you buy. But this is the case when they bring it, consumers cannot afford. So it's a worry situation. And we've been complaining. The more we complain, the more Bank of Ghana also comes up and increasing their policy rate. Policy rate was 14.5%. When we complain that it's too high, they move it to 16. When we complain it's too high, they move it to 18. We don't really know what policy or what are they trying to achieve. Whether to curb inflation. If you want to curb inflation to collapse business, then what have you achieved? It's negative, because we believe that when you allow businesses to grow, that's where government revenue will also grow. So yeah, so it's something that we are in solidarity, we are in support of what is happening in Kumasi, and then very soon they will hear from us from Accra. Like I told you earlier on, we are in a serious meeting in our head office now as I'm talking to you now. I just came out from the meeting to grant you this interview, and what is on the ground is not healthy. People in Abusokan are calling for same. Those in Western Region are calling for same. It's like in general, business community are not really happy with what is going. The policy of government, they are not really comfortable with the policy of government and what government is doing to curb the situation. We see that it's an international challenge, but internally, what are we going to do to solve our own home product or solutions? As much as we complain about other external factors, internally, what are we doing to support businesses to stand on their feet?
Thank you. That was Mr. Joseph Dim. Let's now bring you our 3 facts about the FIFA World Cup. But the first one is only 2 teams have ever won consecutive World Cups, and that is Brazil and Italy. Brazil has the distinction of being the only country to play in every World Cup. That was the second fact. The third fact is, to date, only 8 countries have ever won the World Cup, though there have been 20 tournaments. Thank you. Let's go on a commercial break right now. We'll be back with more.
Me coming here, sometimes I can be at maybe 28, 29, 30. Looking at it is very bad. Sometimes I feel like giving up. But me looking at my mom, thinking about her condition, I'll say no.
Welcome back from that short commercial break, and you're still watching Newsbeat on Metro TV. My name is Vanessa Otu. Many girls are faced with the stark realities of life at an early stage. Some are maltreated, forced into early marriage, and sometimes raped. Akosia, not her real name though, tells a story of how she lacks concentration in class due to ill treatment from her guardian. She spoke to Zoe Anita O'Day.
Not her real name is a final year student at St. Kizito RC Basic School. Although she is lively, she does not have many friends and is sometimes afraid to speak up in class. She says she suffers maltreatment from her home, and by the time she gets to school, she is exhausted and can barely concentrate.
For me, coming to school late, sometimes I come to school early. Sometimes I always wake up very early to do the house chores. Sometimes I can sleep around something like maybe 11 or 10, or maybe looking at Sunday, because we have to come to church, and after that I have to fetch water for her, everything. And it's a bed, sometimes me getting time to learn, I end up sleeping whilst learning.
It's the 2022 International Day of the Girl Child. According to Global Community, girls and young women are the drivers of sustainable development and powerful agents of change. For these to happen, educating and supporting the girl child cannot be overemphasized. But Akosua fears the worst for her education if her current situation persists. Lydia Ochre-Boateng is the Guidance and Counseling Coordinator at the St. Kizito RC Basic School.
Our girls go through lots of problems because some of them are staying with people, some are also on their own, looking at the community in which we are. Some of them don't have anyone who is taking care of them. They are on their own. They come to school and go back home, go and feed themselves, come back. So they have a lot of problems that they are facing, especially when they are in their menstrual period. They don't have pad. Some don't even have anything, even underwears, right? They don't have. So we, the teachers, have to be helping them, giving them small support. And we are asking the parents, guardians, and then the government to put in an effort to help them.
Evidence from around the world confirms that investing in girls and young women creates multiple benefits, not only for individual women, but the family and communities. Campaign coordinator on End Child Marriage Now of World Vision Ghana, Barbara Amegavi, highlighted the most critical issues faced by girls today.
Challenges such as child marriage affecting girls, teenage pregnancy, where girls drop out to the advantage of boys and all. So even though a lot has been done, there's still a lot to be done. So investment in their rights remain limited. The various challenges that I've mentioned, and then the protection of girls from violence still persists. And then especially girls with disabilities. So even those are disadvantaged, and then girls with disabilities are more disadvantaged. So there's still, for me, I still know that there's still a need to call for more awareness raising.
With this in mind, she's calling for more awareness creation to improve the potentials of young girls.
As we know, World Vision is embarking on a campaign in ending child marriage. One of the issues is child marriage and teenage pregnancy. Child marriage, teenage pregnancy, and issues with menstrual health management. So we have girls dropping out of school as a result of child marriage. And then when they get pregnant, released to child marriage, they are given out to coexist or given out to marry. They contribute a lot to the economy. If they are empowered, they will help in the development of the economy, in politics, in every aspect of our lives.
Every girl has potentials, and despite the harmful gender norms that influences the lives of these girls, girls are breaking barriers posed by stereotypes and exclusions. However, there is the need for us to invest in the health and education of girls by putting an end to child marriage and all forms of abuses that hold these girls back from reaching their potentials. Remember, girls are unstoppable. For Metro News, I am Zoe Anita Odey, Accra.
Data released by the Ghana Statistical Service to mark International Day of the Girl Child reveals that almost 80,000 girls in Ghana aged between 12 and 17 years are already married or living with a man. Let's go onto the screens and take a look at the detailed breakdown of the report. The one says, nationally, 79,733 girls in Ghana aged 12 to 17 have been in union. This is married to or living together with a man according to the 2021 Population and Housing Census. The regions with the highest percentage of girls ever in union are Northeast 13%, Savannah region 10.9%, and Northern 10.6%, all with rates more than twice the national average, 4%. Despite free and compulsory universal basic education, almost a quarter of a million girls, 244,000 731 aged 6 to 14 years have never attended school at all. Three out of every 10 of these girls are in the northern region, which has the highest number of girls who have never attended school, 73,516, followed by the Savannah, 27,930, and the Northeast, 22,857 regions. Further, 99,150 girls under 15 years are engaged in economic activity, with half of them, 49.7%, out of school. Half, 49.9 of girls engaged in economic activity are in the northern, 22,647, OT 17,694, and Northeast 9,153 regions, which have the highest share of girls in economic activity. Let's now get on to Zoom and speak with Mr. Odei JB, who is the head of data production unit at the Ghana Statistical Service. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, and how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So what does the data gathered tell you in terms of our collective effort to end child marriage, especially in the North?
Right. Thanks very much, and thanks to Metro TV for giving Ghana Statistical Service the opportunity. My name is Odei JB, and today being a day for the girl child, Statistical Service is pleased to be associated with the celebration. So that is the reason why we have put up a press release relating to key issues affecting the girl child. So we dwell on issues relating to marriage, economic activity, and then also about school attendance. So basically, the figure we posted that about 80,000 of the girl that is from 12 to 17 years are into some form of marriage. Yes, we got this information from the 2021 Population and Housing Census. And today being a key day for the girl, we decided to state the voice of the girl so that everybody will hear what they are saying. They are saying that about 80,000 of their colleagues are into some form of marriage or in union, that is been married or living with a man as if married, which I think it is very key for us to voice out so that the whole world will know what is going on in Ghana. And as I said, we got this information from the 2021 Population and Housing Census.
All right. Why are the three northern regions getting the highest rate of girls in union? Is it poverty or lack of access to opportunities?
Yes, for the a higher proportion of the girls are in the northern region, but then our figure or the research or the census, we did not go further to ask why they are into such situation. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you very much. We really appreciate. Residents of Choko Chemuna in Ablekuma South constituency have joined the Operation Clean Your Frontage initiative to clear their communities of filth. This forms part of government's move to make Accra the cleanest city. Shadrach Odame Ejiri is on the ground.
The second week of the street enforcement of the Operation Clean Your Frontage initiative continues here in the Ablekuma South constituency. We've been to the Kolebu through to the Mamprobi post office stretch on Monday. Today we are here in the Ablekuma South constituency again, but at Chemwena. So we are doing Chemwena and then other environs. So already this morning, every member of this community have been admonished to come out in their numbers and then clean their various frontages, as everyone has been made to understand that it is their unique responsibilities. Every household is responsible for the clearance of their various frontages and buffers. And what was envisaged in the previous days as to how uneasy the whole place is going to be has changed. The people are actually calm. Everyone is coming out bit by bit to do their part. I mean, getting rid of filth in the various gutters, sweeping their various frontages. One worry has to do with the main Chemwena Lagoon that was some time ago turned into a refuse dump. So we barely saw the water passing through Chemwena. All we saw was filth engulfing the whole place. But today the whole place is cleared. You can see plastic waste and then plastic bottles being segmented. The sorting has been done and they've been nicely packed around the Chemwena. Community members here are also willing to support. You have here officials from the AMA supporting. You have personnel from Zoom Lion Ghana, and then we also have the city response team on site, still with support from the Ghana Armed Forces. So everyone is on the ground here, ensuring that we still keep Accra clean, maintain the cleanliness in Accra and its environs. Places that are not clean will be checked, and then subsequently, hopefully, we are going to get the city rid of all the filth, plastic bags to bottles to any filth of any sort. So, I mean, everyone is doing their part here. We'll still be hanging around and then finding out other places that we feel or we know have lots of filth that needs to be gotten rid of.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month is proudly brought to you by Reflux Sanitary Pad and Baby Pull-Up Diaper and Give Us Floor and WC Cleaners.
As you are aware, it's Breast Cancer Month. Let's take a look at our tip for today.
If you already have breast cancer, try to live in the present moment and keep doing things that make you happy.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month is proudly brought to you by Reflux Sanitary Pad and Baby Pull-Up Diaper and Give Us Floor and WC Cleaners.
Up next is Kendra with the business.
I go by the name Kendra Arthur from Elmhurst Independent School, and I bring you the business segment. An energy expert, Kojo Poku, has projected the Ghana with return to the era of erratic power supply, also known as DOMSO. According to him, if new power energy generation sources are not added to the national grid, it will affect industry and businesses.
Most of the contracts that were terminated were contracts that were not in operation.
But which we were paying for?
No, we were not paying for those.
We were not paying for
them?
them?
No, we were not paying. The only contracts that were terminated were contracts that have been signed but were not operational. Those were terminated. Some of them that has already secured financing and some sort of guarantee were postponed to come online 2024 onwards. So you looked at which one can I terminate because I've signed an agreement with him. He has not operationalized the agreement. That one you can terminate. Which one have I signed? He's operationalized the agreement. He's gotten some sort of financial commitment. If I cancel that, I will get a judgment debt, okay? Like the one that we did, the GPGC contract that we terminated that ended up in the arbitration and they won. So the contracts that were terminated were contracts that have been signed but were not operational. Those that were operational, none of them were terminated. So the only thing that going forward you looked at was, look, as far back as 2021, we've really stopped talking about the capacity charge indebtedness. The overcapacity situation existed in 2017, 2018, and 2019. When we entered 2020, we have now come out of that situation where we had that excess capacity that we're paying for. So excess capacity was only a problem in 2017, 2018, 2019. Where we sit now, we are actually getting into the arena where if we do not procure more power very soon, we might end up in doing so. If in 2 years we do nothing, down the line we'll face power crisis.
The Ghana Revenue Authority is intensifying the enforcement of the tax stamp in order to ensure all goods comply with the ensure. In the latest clampdown, some supermarkets, including the Spencer's branch of the China Mall, have been closed down by the authorities for non-compliances.
Government of Ghana introduced the Excise Tax Stamp Act 2013, Act 873, to provide for the affixing of excise stamps on specified excisable products to enhance accountability on those products. Since then, the authority has identified that some business owners are still non-compliant, while others are affixing fake tax stamps, robbing the country of deserved revenue. To ensure this revenue loophole is blocked, the GRA has introduced a tax authenticator app for users to self-scan products. Commissioner General of the GRA is Reverend Dr. Amishadai Owusu Amoa.
We have introduced a new excise stamp tax authenticator, which is also an app, and it allows you to use your phone to test whether what is on the bottle is genuine or not, and whether the bottle is actually properly has paid the tax that it's supposed to pay. And it's available also for every citizen to be able to use it too. And we are going to enforce, just as we are dealing with the VAT vigilation, and going around and making sure that every shop, every restaurant, every beer bar, these things are being used.
In going electronic, he also noted some measures the authority has put in place to help taxpayers comply in the comfort of their homes.
Taxpayers portal, and some of you might have tested it. It's basically a portal that allows you to log in to see your own tax activities. You can get straight to it from our website. In addition,
the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry is threatening to sue government if monies owed them are not paid. The CEO of the group, Cherry Emmanuel, says government owes them more than 10 billion Ghana cedis in arrears.
If you should ask us about the exact amount, anything we say here may not be accurate. Same if you ask the Minister for Roads and Highways today, how much is he owing the road sector? He cannot tell you exact amount. The dynamics is this. On daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, contractors keep logging in IPC, that's entering payment certificates. The same time, government is also taking steps to settle certain aspect of liabilities. So if that issue happened, then which means we need to set a secretariat up as a chamber at the Ministry of Road Fund Secretariat, so that any time a total certificate comes, we add it to it. Any payment that goes, we subtract it, then we can get the accuracy. But approximately 10 billion Ghana cedis is in arrears today as we speak. Roads, that's Road Fund, Cocoa Board, Consolidated Fund, as well as Get Fund. We are even being charitable. If we should log all together with the interest upon interest on delay payment, it will be more than that.
That's all for business. We'll go for a short commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to the sports segment of the news. My name is Angel Kaifumba. In our first story, head coach of Hazakes Ladies, Yusuf Bazigi, is very confident his side can reclaim their Women's Premier League title they lost to Ampem Dakoa Ladies last season. The secondary-based club began their campaign in the 2022-23 WPL season with a 1-0 win over Berry Ladies on Saturday.
Are not just novice. The new recruits are not novice. They are players that we spotted, some from the Division 1 and some have also played Premier. The only problem is just the team cohesion. And by the time we get to the third match, I think that the cohesion will come. And if they start gelling, it's going to be a bigger and better Hazakes Ladies.
Yeah, so
That's all for sports. My name is Angel Kaifumba. Take it over, Philippa. I'm done.
Thank you, Angel. Up next is the showbiz. The executive director of the National Folklore Board, Bernice Dekuma, has disclosed that many Ghanaians are not aware of the role of the Folklore Board, hence the need for more education. She spoke on Entertainment Review on Monday.
Folklore refers to cultural expressions of a community, such as our dance, festival, language, music, narratives, proverbs, symbols, and our textiles. All these are part of our folklore. And when we talk about folklore, it is peculiar to a community and what they appreciate or value as their heritage in form of narrative. That's why we call the storytelling. Some of them are passed on through narratives. Some of them are written down. We've been doing a lot of public education or creating awareness, as I'm doing right now, creating public awareness. So we've not taken steps to enforce the law. We want to create a lot of awareness so that people will know that if you do this, you will be punished.
Ghanaian rapper Flo Kingston has advised a new crop of artists to be versatile in order not to fade away easily from the music industry.
I feel like Ghanaians, we love to since I like this. You realize that I like you realize that the time of my life, I'm actually doing this different. One day, because still them was different. The one different. When hip different approach. So what I'm talking about is that Ghanaians like so no particular for a long time. But it's left for the artists to be versatile so that they can change with the times.
That's all for entertainment. I am Philippa from Atomic Hill School Basic School. Thank you.
Let's get some news updates on the international front.
Nigeria's National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has warned citizens to be wary of cough syrups linked to dozens of deaths of children in the Gambia. It says the substance causes abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, inability to pass urine, headache, and acute kidney injury, which may lead to death. The World Health Organization has expressed fears that the Gambia might not be the only country where the cough syrups have been exported to. A strike has been reported in Lviv as Ukraine's emergency services say 19 people were killed and dozens injured in heavy Russian attacks across the country on Monday. Missile raids continued on Tuesday, including in Zaporizhia, where at least one person has been killed. The head of the GCHQ, Britain's electronic intelligence agency, says Russia is running short of weapons and its troops are exhausted. President Zelensky is expected to meet G7 nations to ask for more weapons. So, next more.